I catch an enormous amount of crap from time to time because I haven't finished editing the last Dangerous Visions volume. You know, people say, when are you going to do it? And I say, well, you know, my response is the same as Michelangelo to the Pope. You'll get it when it's done. But when I edited the Dangerous Visions anthologies, or when I did Medea, or did any of the other work that I've done as an editor, I understood that I was not just going out there and willy-nilly, randomly buying stories to throw into an anthology which might make a few bucks, and then that was the end of it. I understood that if a writer gave me a story, I was in caretakership for that work. That I was the janitor of that building, that I had to protect the writers. So the contracts, all of my contracts, have a clause in them that's a deal breaker that says you will send copies of all the foreign editions, of every reprint edition, of everything else, to the writers. And I provide them with a list of everybody in the book with an updated address so they don't have a problem. Now, publishers find this very annoying. A lot of them won't sign contracts with me because that's too much trouble. It's too much trouble. It's too much trouble to provide to the people who wrote the damn stories a copy of the books? Well, they don't. You talk to any number of writers in this field. I don't care whether it's somebody at the top like Paul Anderson or somebody, you know, who's only been writing for a few years like Adam Troy Castro or Esther Friesner or something like that. They've written, you know, they've been going around for a number of years, but they're not long timers. And they'll all tell you they don't have editions of their books printed in Spain or Germany or Japan because it's just too damn much trouble. It's too much trouble for the publishers to get them. Well, it's a deal breaker on my contracts. I make sure that everybody who was ever in Dangerous Visions, or again Dangerous Visions, or will be in the last Dangerous Visions, when and if, not if, when, get that book. And this is a sense of responsibility that I've found in almost none of the anthologists around. I'm not going to name their names because most of them are very decent people. They don't cheat you, they don't lie to you, but they just don't follow up. They take the story, they publish it, they pay you a fee, and that's it. You don't get the book club editions, you don't get the reprint editions, and so you have no way of knowing where your books have been reprinted. You have no way of knowing how much money you should have. You have no way of knowing whether you're getting your proper royalties or not. There are no little flags for you. Well, most writers don't run their businesses very well. Writing, folks, freelance writing, is a cottage industry. My wife and I, we are a mom and pop shop. We keep very close control. My contracts tell me exactly where the books are going to be published. And when they do a foreign edition, they have to come back to me and advise me. I don't charge them extra money, or maybe $100, something like that. But I know there's going to be a Japanese edition. I know there's going to be an edition in Finland. I watch out for that. But do the writers in this industry pay any attention to that? No. They take a very short-term look. They don't keep their offices in good shape. They don't keep their papers in good shape. They don't worry about whether the magazines have been properly copyrighted. Their stories could be in the public domain. They wouldn't know any better. Well, I figured I would mention it to you because it's an ongoing problem. I'm speaking now to anthologists. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of you out there. Every jumped-up amateur who ever went to a science fiction convention thinks he or she can be an anthologist. Well, live in that fool's paradise if you will. I know you will snooker a lot of writers into sending you stories. But if you do, then you must understand that you're in caretakership. You have to do a certain number of things to keep that work viable, meaning life-supporting, meaning bringing in money for the writers. And writers, if you don't hold their feet to the fire, you're as big stummies as I think you are.